As Toastmaster has been in District 6 Toastmasters for the last 5 years. And he has turned many heads, but he claims they usually turn away. Ray has performed for 20 years as a professional DJ and MC. He's gotten used to introducing and interviewing the real stars of the show. Please welcome our Toastmaster and town crier, Ray Young.
Thank you very much, King Larry. Hear ye, 7 o'clock and all is well. Huzzah! Huzzah! Wonderful! Welcome, lords and ladies, to Minneapolis Shire, land of the Toastmasters in the kingdom of District 6. Huzzah! Huzzah! Dearly beloved, we have gathered here today to get through this thing called life. And in life, it is filled with contests, no matter your age, no matter whether you're a prince or a pauper. Tonight, your fellow Toastmasters will joust for tabletop supremacy. The best tabletops jousters have arrived to this court of honor from across the land of Toastmasters, one from each of the 10 divisions of the kingdom of District 6. Huzzah! Huzzah! Our competitors have spent hours and days on the pommel of their horseless carriages to come here to represent their crest. For your entertainment, they have brought their most powerful lances and gauntlets, the spoken word. We will meet each of our heroic speakers later in the program. Jousters in tonight's melee will receive the same noble question with no known knowledge of its content beforehand. Each will respond with honor, chivalry, and quick wit. We will observe silence between each of the contestants. So that means keep your mouths shut and silence your noisemakers right now. I'm the only one allowed with the noisemaker. Though we are of one benevolent kingdom, huzzah. You guys, whenever I mention kingdom, you ought to say huzzah. The District 6 kingdom, that's more like it, splendiferous. Though we are of but one benevolent kingdom, we compete against our own brothers and sisters to sharpen our skills for the day when we must joust against people outside of our domain. We must be ready to defend the excellence of communication throughout the kingdom of District 6. All right, you're catching on. You're a bright bunch. This contest also provides the chance to display the revelry and heraldry and showmanship of Toastmasters to the royal guests and visitors of the kingdom of District 6. I'm so proud. Winners will be lauded with jewels and awards. The rest shall be sent to the stockade in town square, at which we will begin to throw rotten tomatoes. Are there any tomatoes left from tonight's feast? Please refrain from throwing them until after the contest. Let's acknowledge and honor the presence of our Chief Judge, Jim Kickle. Huzzah! Mr. Chief Judge, have all of your contest helpers been briefed?
Yes, Mr. Toastmaster. All contestants, judges, timers, and ballot counters have been briefed. We can begin the contest.
Splendiferous! Huzzah! Hear ye, by proclamation of King Larry, Queen Diane, and Prince Harold, let the District 6 tabletop contest begin. Huzzah! I call upon our squire, the Sergeant-at-Arms, to escort contestants number 2 through 10 to the Chamber of Silence before they return to joust. I will now provide you. You will grab your programs and writing utensils. We used quills in our day. The speakers for tonight's contest shall be first, Janelle Siegfried. She may stay in the room. Second will be Bruce Wenger. Third, Lou Longmire. Fourth, Dan Kuchenmeister. Fifth, David Pearson. Sixth, Keith Hardy. Number 7, Janet Fuchs. Number 8, Kate McEachran. Number 9, Bon Gillette. And 10 is Jan Nodia. As you look from top to bottom on your program, we should read at the top, Janet, 7, 9, 6, 4, 5, 3, 8, 10, 1, and 2. Now, I have regaled all the contestants with rules, but I have rules for you. Silence all noise-making devices. Remember to keep your mouths shut while people are jousting. Provide your complete attention to the speakers. Do not leave the room or try to enter back into the room while someone is speaking. Our squire, the sergeant-at-arms, will restrict your movement and have you ousted from the kingdom. Yes! We have awoken, and I'm so glad it happened now and not later. Photography will be prohibited, ladies and gentlemen. There will be opportunities to take pictures after the contest. Audio or video recording shall be prohibited unless you have prior consent from the contestant. For those who are about to joust, let us begin the District 6 Table Topic Contest. A round of applause for our royal folks. Now draw the sacred question from my pouch, which has been sealed in a cave and guarded by a dragon for weeks and weeks and weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, applause for contestant number 1, Janelle Siegfried. Janelle Siegfried, if you could be any age for 1 week, what age would you be and why? If you could be any age for 1 week, what age would you be and why? Janelle Siegfried.
Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master and Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. Any age at all. I think I'd want to be a wise old sage. Who wouldn't want to have the opportunity to help change the world with some words of wisdom? We as Toastmasters, after all, work to deliver our key messages and learn how to help people in this business called Toastmasters. Some of us do it for fun, but it's a lot more than fun. We do it because we want to make meaningful contributions in this world. It takes a long time to be a competent and even distinguished Toastmaster. I'm certainly not there yet. I know many of you in this room are. And as we age and we get wisdom and we get more practice, and we get the skills that we learn here in Toastmasters, it gives us a tremendous opportunity to impart wisdom for future generations. We learn a lot in life. We have our ups and we have our downs. and we have everything in between. If we could take all those wonderful things and for 1 week, bundle it when I'm 90 years old and a wizened woman with white hair, it would be a wonderful gift to be able to talk to all those young people and help impart those wonderful words of wisdom that we accumulate through our lives. Think of some of those things you wish you knew when you were younger. And what matters most? Is it the awards? Is it the fancy cars or house? Is it the job? No. At the end of the day, it's about people and relationships. And Toastmasters is a wonderful way to connect in those relationships and learn from each other week to week in those meetings. I've gotten so much wisdom, even in my Toastmasters group, that it would be wonderful to share. And that's what I would want to do, be 90 years old and impart my wisdom to the younger people in this world. Mr. President.
We will now observe silence. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, contestant number 2. Bruce Wenger. If you could be any age for 1 week, what age would you be and why? If you could be any age for 1 week, what age would you be and why? Bruce Wenger.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters. I've actually thought about this before. What age would I want to be if I could sort of get stuck in place? Now, most people, when they're asked the question of how old they are, or if they're trying to compliment someone, they'll say, I've been 29 for about 16 years. 29 isn't the age I'd pick, though. I'd have to evaluate on when had I learned enough to know how to stay out of trouble and to stay away from things I knew would get me in trouble. And yet there was enough to discover, but I haven't lived enough life to know everything. For me, that age is about 35. I'll give you a few reasons. First of all, I was out of my 20s. And if you knew me in my 20s, that's a good thing. At 35, I'd been working long enough that I had a little bit of money. I kind of knew what I was doing professionally. I felt confident enough to make decisions in my life that were going to keep me on the right path. And also at my age 35, I had met the people in my life that were likely to stick with me for the rest of that life. People that I knew I could count on, friends that were going to be important to me forever, professional associations and colleagues that I would treasure, both because they helped me professionally, but also because I knew that they'd be friends. I also had made enough error in my life to avoid the things in the future that would take me where I wanted to go. The final thing about being age 35, and mind you, I'm a little past that now, was that I knew there was a lot of adventure ahead, that I was going to be healthy enough to enjoy it, that I would have still the spirit of adventure that would lead me to those adventures, and that ultimately, because I didn't know everything, there'd still be a lot of excitement ahead, and I'd be humble enough to take it all in. Now I'm getting closer to 50. Let's just say I wish I could stay at 35. Thank you.
Again, we shall be silent, observe respect for this court of honor. Contestant number 3, Luke Longmire. Lou Longmire, if you could be any age for 1 week, what age would you be and why? If you could be any age for 1 week, what age would you be and why? Lou Longmire.
Well, I have to tell you, I am at the perfect age right now. I'm 59 years old. I'm about this far away from being 60. And I have to tell you that my entire life, for the last 59.8 years, has been a lead-up to right now. It doesn't get any better than this. For those of you who are in your 20s or 30s, you've got so long to wait. It's amazing. It gets better and better and better. As a matter of fact, when I look back at the time when I was 40, I think, I was such a snotty-nosed little kid. I didn't know anything. I'm 59 years old now. When I look back at when I was 50, oh my God, I was such a punk, such a snotty-nosed kid. Right now, it's the perfect age. And I know there's a few semesters I have to get ready for in the future, and I know I'm going to be living to 107 years old. My contract was I'll live to 107 years old with 5-year options for renewal after that. That's my agreement. I'll get there, but right now, it's absolutely perfect. And with each week, with each progression that I make, it gets better and it gets better. And let me tell you something. When you're in a place where you can actually live your dream, when you can live the life that you've always fantasized about living, it doesn't matter if you're 10 or 50 or 107 with 5-year options for renewal. You're living in the perfect age at the perfect moment. And I wish that all of you could say that same thing, because I can say it, and I can say it tonight. This is the perfect age. Mr. Toastmaster.
Please remain silent until the next contestant is announced. You may, however, use your little devices in your hand. Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 4. Dan Kuchenmeister. If you could be any age for 1 week, what age would you be and why? If you could be any age for 1 week, what age would you be and why? Dan Kuchenmeister.
I remember waking up every morning, so excited. I had so many goals, so many hopes, so many dreams, so many things I was going to accomplish. I knew everything there was to know, and I did not need to learn another single thing the rest of my life. If I go back to any age, I'd be 21 again. Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, I'm glad everybody's here. Again, my name is Dan Kuchenmeister, and if I could be an age for 1 week, I'd be 21, because I'd only have to be there for 1 week. Being 21 for a whole year, I'm surprised I made it to 32 years old. I wish I could have took all the mistakes, all the knowledge I thought I had, and wrapped that up into 1 week to realize that I know nothing. At that age, I could accomplish anything. I could do anything. I could be anything. But what did I do? Drink beer. Played video games. And no matter how much I thought about how successful I was going to be, turns out if you just sit around and drink beer all day, you're not going to be that successful. Shocker, right? So as I think about my ages and where I've been and what I want to accomplish, it's really struck me that it doesn't matter how much I think or how much I want something or how much I strive to get there. Unless I take the action, unless I have the wisdom that I've accomplished throughout the years, from the mistakes that I've made, from the people I've met, from the things that I've gained, and put those into action, that's where true success is going to come from. So again, if I do it any age for 1 week, I'd be 21, get out of the way like that, huzzah! Thank you, everybody.
Contestant number 5. David Pearson. If you could be any age for 1 week, what age would it be and why? If you could be any age for 1 week, what age would you be and why? David Pearson.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, most honored guest. Any age for 1 day? That's a tough decision. Because I have really, in my entire life, never been at a particular age for one day. I have never been grown up, and I never anticipate being grown up. However, if I were to do this, and do it to the correctness of your question, I would have to go back to age 10. Why, you ask? I'm glad he asked that. Age 10, 4th grade, a marvelous time. I learned a lot of stuff in 4th grade. A lot of it I hadn't learned in 3rd grade. Most of it I got again in 5th grade because I was a little bit slow. Thanksgiving that year was marvelous. It was at Grandma's and the whole family was there. I got to sit at the adult table because I was a big kid. And they need somebody to clean all the plates. I mean, Christmas was phenomenal. I got every kind of toy toy you could imagine. Santa was good to me. And I wasn't that good to Santa. The rest of the school year was great. The rest of being 10 years old was phenomenal. I would go back and do that again. Perhaps with one change, however. Because in my 10th year of life, we went camping up north, way in the middle of nowhere in Canada. No, not Thunder Bay. And a tornado hit our campsite. That, my friends, is an educational experience that I shall never forget. Except when I go back to being 10 years old. Mr. Toastmaster.
Silence! Oh, you already did. Contestant number 6, Keith Hardy. Keith Hardy, if you could be any age for 1 week, what age would you be and why? If you could be any age for 1 week, what age would you be and why? Keith Hardy.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters friends, with today's internet age, electronic age, social media age, I for sure for 1 week would want to return to being age 6. Age 6, 1st grade, Buffalo, New York. My reality back then was I was in love, as much as a 6-year-old can be in love, with Bridget. Bridget was awesome. She was pretty. She had this great smile. And the best part, she called me by my name. Because I had glasses back then. And most everybody else called me Four Eyes. Hey, Four Eyes. Hey, Four Eyes. But for Bridget, she said, hi, Keith. And I thought she liked me. I thought she was the one. I even told my dad about her. One day in the cafeteria, I made what I learned many years later was that stupid male mistake. I went up to Bridget and I gave her a kiss on the cheek. Turned out Bridget didn't really like me as much as I thought she did. And she was a little bit bigger than me. So she pushed me down on the floor and she sat on me and she wailed on me a couple times. If I had internet back then, Facebook, I probably would have found out that Bridget had this other boyfriend or she wasn't into guys who liked me. She was just being nice because I was the nerd everybody else picked on. So I want 1 week. 1 week to go back to age 6 with Bridget. Have that chance to not make that stupid male mistake. Instead, just say, may I walk you to class, please?
Silence. Contestant number 7, Shannon Fuchek. Janet Fuchek. If you could be any age for 1 week, what age would you be and why? If you could be any age for 1 week, what age would you be and why? Janet Fuchek.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, contest officials, and guests. If I could be any age for a short period, I would choose to be a child of about 10 years old. You see, I'm a teacher. I'm an elementary school teacher. And how fun would that be to change places with one of my students that day? Oh boy, wouldn't I have a lot of fun? How much I could torment the teacher. I would make paper airplanes and throw them clear across the room. I would throw spitballs and blame it on someone else. I would take someone's lunch, and maybe even their lunch money, just have all kinds of fun. Have my wild side come out. Because you see, after all, I'm a conservative teacher. I would never do those kind of things now. I need to step out of my comfort zone, as they say. I would just love to be a child. How much fun would it be singing every day? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Or counting by tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Just having a lot of fun as a 10-year-old. You don't get into a lot of heavy curriculum at that age. My favorite subject would probably be recess, just as it is for any typical 10-year-old. I would love to run around, go on the play structure, do cartwheels all over the schoolyard, and then come in and have fun subjects after recess, like art, where I can paint with my fingers and sponges and do all kinds of creative things. I love being a 10-year-old, Mr. Chair.
Silence. Contestant number 8. Kate McEachran. If you could be any age for 1 week, what age would you be and why? If you could be any age for 1 week, what age would you be and why? Kate McEachran.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, if I could be any age, let's think about that. There are ages that I don't remember at all. Maybe it would be nice to be 6 months old if I still had my brain and could think about things. Because people would do absolutely anything for you. Everybody thinks babies are cute. They think they're even cuter than kittens or puppies. And there are no responsibilities whatsoever. 6 months might not be a bad age. But you know, at 6 months, you're not walking. Maybe you're crawling. And your view of the world is pretty limited. I'm not even sure if babies who are 6 months old can see that far. So let's cross 6 months off the table. Let's age ourselves up a little. Suppose I was 5. No school yet. Parents are still doing everything for you. They're still making the decisions. They're still feeding you. 5 isn't a bad age. But when you're a teenager, you can drive. You have independence. You can do anything. And you're still not working. Teenager has started to sound pretty good to me. But then you start to get perspective. The older you get, the more time you have, the more you know, and all of a sudden things start to fall into place. I have to say, I want to be 75 for a week and come back to my current age so I can really enjoy it. Mr. Toastmaster.
Please halt any noise until the next contestant is introduced. Contestant number 9. Bon Jeanette, if you could be any age for 1 week, what age would you be and why? If you could be any age for 1 week, what age would it be and why? Bon Jeanette.
I'd be a baby. It was the first thought that hit my mind. I mean, everything taken care of for you. Just a cry, a whine, a sniffle, and your parents' love and care right there for you. Sometimes my wife even talks to me and says, "You are a baby, I'm not your mother, I'm not going to take care of you." But I say, "Honey, just for that moment, just to be a baby again." When I didn't know right from wrong, when I didn't have to clean up after myself, because I still haven't learned to do so, my wife will tell you. Being a baby, not knowing what the limits could be, learning something new every day, to see the world through the eyes of a child, to have that unbridled hope, that passion, that hope that something could happen for me, that I could be anything I wanted to, not understanding the limits of my abilities. I think back to watching Peter Pan with my children. Think of a wonderful thought, any happy little thought. Leave the world and your cares behind. That's what it is, or what I would look for in being a baby. Again, I wouldn't have to clean up after myself. I'd be fed on demand. And the birthday parties, all the presents I ever wanted, and even some that I didn't want. That's what I would do if I could pick any age to be. I would be a baby. Mr. Toastmaster.
Silence. Thank you. Contestant 10. Jan Nodia. If you could be any age for 1 week, what age would you be and why? If you could be any age for 1 week, what age would you be and why? Jan Nodia.
"15 years old. Mr. Toastmaster, members and guests, I was born in 1971, so when I was 15, it would be 1986. My daughter is 15 right now, and we have a lot of conversations with each other about what it was like when I was her age in comparison to my age. And the funny thing is, her music taste is the same. AC/DC, Aerosmith, Prince, Michael Jackson. I think that era and time, the music was magical. Another thing that I really liked is the ability to connect with my friends, because today when I see my daughter and I try to have a conversation with her at 15, the age I was, oftentimes, and probably you'll experience this or you're familiar with this as well, she's looking down at her phone, having a conversation here, while I'm having a conversation with her verbally, so I have to actually tell her, put the phone down, let's sit together, let's have a conversation, let's have a dialogue, let's get to know each other. It was a magical time because I would get on my bicycle and I had no idea where my friends were. I would find them because they were on their bicycle, they were outside, And then we would gather and we would decide what we were going to do. Baseball? Are we going to play baseball? Maybe. Football? Soccer? But there was always an idea that let's explore, let's do something new, and let's get away from using our electronic devices for 5 seconds. The music, the ability to connect with people, and just the whole idea of what the future would hold. I would like to put one caveat in there though. I would love to have all the information that I currently have. Because there might be a few companies that I would consider investing in. Mr. Toastmaster.
We will now be silent even longer than we have before.